So in this video, I want to talk about when review scores could go live for Final Fantasy 16, but then also what those review scores could be. Now, I do want to start this off, much like I do for many videos talking about review scores. Ultimately, I do not go by them, at least the actual number. I've said this countless times. I more read what is actually said versus a review score. I think if you're going on Metacritic to pray that this game gets a 91 and that's all you want to see, and then you see an 89 and you flip out, I think, watching the reviews, seeing the new gameplay that comes out, of course, right? Having it help you make your final decision. But ultimately, I do implore people to make their decisions on games based off themselves. Watch the gameplay, watch some cutscenes, see if you like it, have the review scores kind of be the last thing that helps you out. That's how I view it. You can, of course, view it however you want. But one thing, obviously, to start with is, well, when do we get review scores? Well, if you're watching this video, that means the review scores are not yet up. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about the comparisons to past Final Fantasy games. So people are looking at like 7 Remake. People are even going back to Final Fantasy 15. It does seem like the week of, right? Or at least 7 days, somewhere in that range of when the game releases, and then 7 days before it. That's around the time that review scores go live. So here we are on the weekend here. So we go into next week. Really any day, I think, besides, well, obviously the game comes out this upcoming Thursday, so I don't think it's going to happen on the Thursday. I wouldn't even really expect it on the Wednesday, so I'm thinking more Monday, Tuesday kind of thing. Keep an eye on Metacritic's Twitter. They tend to tweet out when certain things are going to happen. Also, I'm sure some people that got this game early are going to accidentally start leaking things, potentially saying, hey, I got a stream going up on Monday, or hey, I'm able to talk about something on Tuesday. That's going to kind of be your telltale sign that that's the day that review scores are going to go live. So expect it over the next couple days. And then what could the scores be? Well, I want to give myself a range. I always like to do this with these games. I'm going to say an 89 to a 91. I like to give myself like a 3-point range. I feel it. I feel it in my gut. This is where the game is going to be. I was feeling very optimistic about this game a week ago, 2 weeks ago. The game has done everything I think it could have done to get me at least invested in it, to buy it day one, let's say. And then, I made the video talking about the demo. I played the demo, reviewed the demo. The demo is insane. And I think if you just take that demo and stretch it and say, well, if the rest of the game can match the demo, I think this is the game of the year contender. I think this is the game in the high 8s, low 9s on Metacritic. I think this is one of those games if they can keep it consistent. I think the frame rate stuff is obviously going to be something you got to keep an eye on. As we've seen with reviews, I mean, I guess it depends on who you watch. Sometimes that affects the review score more than others. Sometimes reviewers completely ignore the glitches or any kind of bugs like that, or any frame rate issues. Sometimes they don't. But if the story, which I think is very strong in the first 2 hours, if the combat, which I think is also very strong in the first 2 hours, if those are the same and expanded upon for 35, 40, 50 hours, right, which is around the range that this game is going to be. And I would not be shocked if whatever day this is, Monday, Tuesday, whatever, you go on Metacritic and you see 92, even 93. I think 89 to 91 is safe. I think the very high 8s, very low 9s, but it would not shock me if it got higher than that. If it gets lower, well, again, it depends on what is said. If I wake up and it gets an 85 or it gets an 82, am I going to panic? Well, no, I'm buying it. Nothing's going to change that unless, I mean, maybe if it gets like a 20, I guess you have to look at it. If it gets like a Lord of the Rings Gollum kind of thing, you'd have to pay attention. But how can something from a demo like it was go to something like Gollum was when it launched? So besides that happening, of course, I'll look at what's being said, and maybe some of the story elements falter, halfway through. Maybe this happens, maybe that happens. Maybe it just keeps getting better, right? That's the exciting, optimistic point of view, is maybe everything that was so good about the demo, maybe it's that, and then that's just the starting point for the rest of the game. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm not expecting it, honestly, because that would be outrageously good. I just want a really good game. The game has already shocked me with the demo. It's way better than I kind of imagined it would be, and I'm just ready to play the base game. So let me know what your review score predictions are, when you think they'll go out. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. We got lots of Final Fantasy videos coming. I'll be playing the game. I'll be covering it, and I hope to see you guys there.